Nice. Keep them up. Keep them up. Oh my God.
They're so cute.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. That's so beautiful. Wow.
You guys are so cute. You guys should have feelings.
Feelings. This is
I can
true.
simply say that we have never started an in-store event like this, and we love it. We love it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I just want to give a little backstory. So when Susan originally reached out to me wanting to do an event, we were like, oh, okay, we got 10 authors. We're going to do 10 authors. And then 20 authors appeared, and we're like, oh, my God. But we are so excited that this ended up being such a wonderful gathering, and there is so much love for you and your debut novel, Soulmates. And you're making it a week-long party, it seems.
We're partying.
And of course, in conversation, we have Christina Hobbs and Lauren.
Yes! Christina Lauren!
And when we also heard that they would be here, like, oh my gosh, you're pulling out all the stops. And then the other 20 authors appeared, and it was even better. So thank you again for everyone for being here. I'm going to be leaving in a second, just to leave it up to them to discuss. But after the author discussion, we'll go ahead and we'll start getting everyone in store, by the way, because you virtual people, you can't be here. But we'll call everyone and have them line up through the store this way. We'll direct you, and we'll line you up by the number on your tickets. So that's how we will do the signing line. If you're remembering, what does these numbers mean? That's what it means. If any time you need to use the restroom, we have the key at the front desk, and we will still have the registers open during the event and after. All right. Thank you very much. Susan, yay!
Yay! Can you guys hear us okay? Okay. All right. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mysterious Galaxy, for hosting this. And thank you to Susan, who all of you who are here know she is one of the most generous-hearted, big-hearted people you will ever meet. You who have not read Soulmates yet have a real treat in store, because this book is just delicious. And it is everything that I love in a childhood friends to lovers book. You get a little childhood friends to enemies to lovers, which is just like, and I just want to say, you know, she's really amazing. I think one thing you guys might not know about her is the first novel she ever wrote is called Dragged, and it won the 2019
with an exclamation point.
With an exclamation point. And it won the 2019 Rita Golden Heart Award. So she is a very talented writer, and I just can't wait to see what else she has in store for her.
Thank you.
So Bo thanked Mysterious Galaxy, but we want to thank them again. We love them so much. They're always so supportive of authors and have such wonderful events. And another generous thing Susan has done is that she arranged for us to meet all of these wonderful authors who came. So if you're one of the authors, like, wave your hands.
Yay!
So there are books. I assume you saw the books by the door. It's a great time, you know, after we're done to find a maybe new to you author, and they will be here to sign. They're all so wonderful. I want to take them all home. And then we have lots of giveaways.
So many giveaways.
Really good giveaways. So I want you to be thinking of questions, and we're going to have time at the end for you to ask, and maybe some of you will win something.
Yoo-hoo.
Amazing. Yes. Oh, and hi, I'm Christina. Oh, and I'm
I'm Susan.
Okay. All right. So
Can I do one thing?
Yes.
I just want to take a picture with everyone. In your little tote bag, there's like a little picket fan. Can you hold that up? Okay. I'm going to do a selfie with everybody. Can you please see that? Yes. All right. All right. Okay, this is good. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you now.
Cute.
And then use it to like fan yourself.
Yes.
Also, can you fan my way too?
Also, you should know that this is a struggle for Susan to talk about herself, so we're all going to just give her very encouraging smiles. This is her day. We're here to celebrate her.
I have my emotional support cardboard cutout of V from BTS with me.
Here.
I also have a little purse cookie that I brought just in case I get hungry. So I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. Okay. So we have read Soulmates. We love it. We blurbed it. We would like Susan, for those who have not read it or don't know what it's about yet, to give us the elevator pitch for the book, which is essentially like the little summary.
Sweet. Okay, Soulmates is a childhood friends to enemies to lovers story about two Korean American teenagers who grew up best friends as kids, have a mysterious falling out, and then reunite a couple years later to fulfill an epic summer bucket list. And for those of us in this location, it is all based in San Diego. It is a love letter to San Diego. So yeah, and it was kind of my way of saying that I totally appreciate this hometown and that I appreciated figuring out how to grow up as a Korean American teenager here. And yeah, so that's what it's about.
Amazing. Okay, so your journey to publication has been really interesting. You've worn so many different hats in your career. Can you talk a little bit about what you did before and your journey to publication and what inspired you to write this book in particular?
Sure. So I actually further along in my life, I'm in my 40s. I spent most of my career working in human resources for some major technology startups. And that's what I thought I was going to do. And then in my free time, I liked to read romance novels. And I was consuming a lot of romance novels. And I think it was this book in particular is the second manuscript that I've ever written. And I wrote this one during a time where, oh God, this is going to be hard. I'm good. I'm okay. My dad passed away, and then it's okay. I'm actually very in a healthy emotional place about this. And I just wanted some joy. So I wrote a story about, I just thought to write something as wacky and zany as possible. And what does that look like for kids to just be emotional and kind of unforgiving at times and stubborn and funny, and then fall in love. And so that's how I approached this book. But I was going through also some hardships at work. It's hard being in HR when the world is shutting down and people, are trying to figure out just their lives, like being safe and keeping their family safe. And how do I then show up for work? And it was a really heavy emotional burden. So, all of this came to a head when I decided to kind of step away from my career in corporate America and really put everything into writing. And allowing myself emotionally to go through that journey was so wonderful. And it also helped me to figure out a lot about myself and my relationship with my Koreanness, my relationship with San Diego, actually. I moved away to New York for a while and thought I would never come back. And here I am. And I don't think I'll ever leave. So, so clearly I had a lot of baggage and I had to just get through it. And this book was kind of therapy for me to write and now to present to the world.
Amazing. Okay, well, we have all these questions for Susan.
Smattering of applause. Thank you.
Sorry.
For game.
Okay, so we have all these questions, and we figure if we make her choose a question, then she can't resent us in making her answer.
Suckers, I resent you.
Okay.
Right. You could have Jacob and Hannah become best friends with any couple from another book. Who would it be? I like it.
Oh God! That time when people ask you what's your favorite book, and you know every book is literally pulled out of your head.
You can think on this one.
No, well, I actually know the book. I just can't remember their names. So I'll turn to the authors of Love and Other Words. Yes, I love their teenage friendship. And actually, very early on when I was starting to market this book and they were asking kind of comps, I said, it is the mystery of what separated them that also is kind of the mystery of how Hannah and Jacob are no longer friends. And that really kind of, I feel like they would have that in common. So
yeah, I love that. All right, good one. Good answer.
Purple, for the head.
Okay. Okay, Okay, this is for the audience. So first person to raise their hand, Christina's gonna notice it, and we're
my
gonna
God.
have a gift. So,
Giveaway.
all right, this is a really easy one. Okay, I think Susan recently had the August adventure of seeing one of her favorite bands, name the band, and bonus credit for naming her bias.
You can say the band.
You can just say the band.
No.
DJ.
17. I spent a month with 17.
Let's do the pure, the light green.
And my bias is Wanu.
Okay, I'm going to read a little bit about the company you're getting something from because we want to support small businesses. Okay, this is a $50 gift card for 100% pure. They strive to live with compassion, kindness, and empathy to be environmentally sustainable and improve the lives of 6 billion people and animals while also being charitable. So they give back a lot of the money they get to the community.
Love this. Yay.
All right.
Okay, we're going green. Dark green, dark green.
There was another obvious one.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
from the get-go, the reader wants to protect Jacob at all costs, as in wrap him in bubble wrap and carry him around in their pockets. Who was the inspiration for his visuals, but more importantly, who was or were the inspirations for his wonderful heart?
Okay, so the visuals, if you know me, Jacob is Mingyu from 17, who is, he's just a beautiful soul and face and body apparently is recently, and also Charles Wilson's bias, Mingyu.
Everyone take note.
But the heart, interestingly, this is going to sound like I made this up, but it is true. Tae from BTS, when I first became a BTS fan, Tae was, I kind of started with some of their younger years, and he's kind of like frenetic and all over the place, and a lot of people made fun of him, and BTS always kind of seemed annoyed with him, but they were super protective of him anyways, and I kind of loved that thought of like this person who is not entirely understood, and those around them wanting to take care of them. Also, I have a sister, it's just the two of us, and I've always wanted a younger brother, and Jacob is who I would have wanted as a younger brother. So,
Oh my God, I can totally see that. He's such a honey.
let's do this one.
Okay.
Audience gift, audience gift.
Oh, this is a fun one. I wrote this, so I get to do that. All right. In the book, Jacob remembers a time that Hannah came to his rescue when they were kids. It happened a lot. That's sort of a theme of when they were younger. And Hannah distracts him on the walk home by talking about writing Star Wars fan fiction. If you were going to write fic for any fandom, what would it be?
Okay.
Everybody knows you.
Okay, so truthfully, my favorite to read is Merlin Arthur fanfic. I used to love that. There was an artist, an illustrator who used to do little chibis, of them and like these little comic strips, and I just would be like, I just love them so much. But if I were to write it, I think it would have to be Susan and Wanu fanfic.
Yes. That is a valid answer. Okay.
Okay. Who can name the author that began Susan's love affair with reading romance?
Oh, this one's a hard
This
one.
audience one?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Okay, this is a hard one. Let me give you some clues. And this is kind of like, you have to be kind of in touch with romance for this. All right. She writes really alpha male characters. That's clue number one. No? Okay, yes. But that's like an MO. Okay. Okay. I'll give you two more clues. She also has a book out today.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah. And the third one, in my first romance really novel that I fell in love with by her, is called Sweet Dreams. Well, yeah.
I know.
Oh, Caitlin. You can guess. It's Kristen Ashley.
Okay, which one?
Kristen Ashley.
The dark green. Okay, I'm going to read about this company. This is
This
This is called Proclaim. This is a $100 gift card. Proclaim is an inclusive lingerie line expanding the definition.
She's telling her husband, newlyweds.
They're expanding the definition of nude when ethically made bra at a time. The founder, Shoba Phillips, started Proclaim because she was incredibly tired of never being able to find a nude that matched her brown skin tone. Perhaps more incredible than Proclaim's unique cutout bra designs is a super soft fabric, which is made from 100% post-consumer plastic water bottles.
Oh, yes.
Sponsored.
No.
Just saying.
They're not. We just want you guys to learn about them. Okay, here we go.
Okay. This one.
Okay. All right. If readers could take away one feeling from this book or one vibe, what would it be? What do you want people to go away feeling?
I don't know. Like, I use this word all the time, so I hope it's not overused. And I don't even know that it's really a word, but like swoony. Like, I just want you to feel like, oh, yes, I just love that. Like, that's like, I always tell Lauren when we talk about writing, what I love about reading Christina Lauren books, and I feel this way about Kate Claiborne and Emily Henry, is I don't care what happens in the book. I just care about these characters to like down to my fingertips. Like, I just feel this like, oh, I just want them to be so happy and love each other and bang. Bring it back, Susan, bring it back. So I want that feeling minus the bang. For all of you. Minus that, yes.
Amazing. All right.
All right. Your fangirl heart speaks to ours. And one thing we love most about you is how deeply you love and how you show up for these things, whether it's BTS, 17, or fellow authors. What are some books set in the world of K-pop or K-dramas you wish everyone would read?
Oh gosh, this is easy. I have some friends here. So first off, hands down, XOXO by Axio. I would want you all to read it. I went to Korea and climbed up this, okay, I was going to say a mountain. It's literally a hill. And it's not even a hill. It's a paved road. It's a paved road. There's like houses. It's literally a road with houses on it. But it's just like, this is so steep. But in the Hanok village, and it's where the cover is taken for XOXO. And I went and took that just so I could have that picture of the front of XOXO. I also adore Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho. Kat is so talented, and I love the band that she created. Like, she curated them all the way down to like PCs for each of them. I just think that's so cool. If you were part of fandom, like, you love all those little things. I would love to see in adult romance someone write like a K-drama inspired adult romance, and I would want it to be based on, we've talked about this, the show Healer. So if you haven't seen Healer, it's kind of like maybe like a romantic suspense, but like a lot of yearning and pining. Oh, it's so hot. So girl, I'm on contract. I got deadlines today. I don't talk about this. I watch that stuff. I need someone else to write so I can read it. So, but I would love that. That would be like my dream book to read.
Amazing. All right. Get down there.
Be thinking of questions.
Okay, this is a good one. This is for the audience. Okay, so Susan had illustrations done for the pre-order stuff. And there were 4 different illustrations that all they took the cover characters from her book and put them on K-drama posters. Can anybody name 3 of them? Those K-dramas? Yes.
That's right.
Yours.
And the first one was Goblin.
No, it's not. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is also, I just printed it and my printer's running out of ink. So at the end, come to me and I'll get your email and forward it. Okay, so this is, I just want to tell you who it is. Okay. A $50 gift card. It's actually $225 gift card. To Copper Cow Coffee.
Oh, I love them.
A color-owned Vietnamese coffee company that hopes to share their culture through the sharing of food and coffee. They believe sustainability is everyone's responsibility, and buy only from organic farms in Vietnam, being farmers twice a month.
Oh, I also want to tell you, they come with like this like sugared milk packet that you can put in, so if you like sweetened coffee. Oh, it's so good.
Is it near you?
On the day,
Okay, this is a day, and this is a hypothetical.
yes. On the day in the future when Jacob gives Hannah a key to his place
Oh my God.
and asks her to move in with him, what BTS song is playing in the background?
Oh my God.
Also, if any of you ever have a chance to go to a BTS concert with Susan,
Oh my God, so funny.
please love yourself to do it.
This is so, like, I just feel like only a small number of you will understand, so I apologize, but I feel like it would be Dimple.
Oh my God,
because they performed it in concert in these really tight black pants, and all of them were doing these body rolls, and I'm like, they're showing this is YA right now, but this is in the future. In the future, that could happen.
All right. Okay. Oh, this is good. Okay. So writing, editing, re-editing, marketing, publishing a book is a lot of work. And I'm sure you have a phase of it so far that you have decided is your least favorite. If you could have somebody from the book take over one aspect of it for you, who would it be and why?
Okay. I would have, this is like a little obscure, but Jacob has a little sister, and she's like sassy, tells it like it is, reads all the comments. Like she's like really cool, and I would have her be kind of like take over all my marketing. Like I'm too sad. I can't even read my own reviews. Like I would like have her reply to emails and do all of that stuff, because I think she would be like really great at that.
I think that's very good. She's adorable. All right, we're just gonna pick the last.
Okay, last one.
Oh, we got two
All right.
more.
Last two.
Talk to us a little about Hannah and her relationship to all things K-pop and K-drama at the start of the book. It's a funny twist to have her friends be more knowledgeable about the Korean entertainment wave than she was, especially given Jacob's job. It's such a playful way to begin their story. What was the inspiration for that?
So when my dad passed, it was interesting. It was at the time when BTS was getting really big in the world. And to start, I actually hated BTS. I hated their existence. I know, it's like, I just didn't understand why they were so popular. And frankly, like I've said this before, but I'd look at them and think there's hotter Korean guys than them. Like I just didn't get why the world was suddenly interested in Korean things. You know, it's like it's just not what I grew up with. And when my dad passed, I was going through this phase of like my dad was kind of my tie to being Korean. You know, he's the one who spoke Korean, ate Korean food, watched K-dramas. He was the one who like kind of insisted that I keep a level of a tie to my, motherland or my culture. And so I'm here thinking I'm losing a part of my identity. And there are now a worldwide phenomenon of people who are learning to speak Korean and who are eating Korean food and who are like talking about BTS in a way that I couldn't engage. And they were becoming, in my mind, more Korean than I was. And it like kind of freaked me out. Like, and if you know me, I was like pissed. Pissed off. And so when I first started writing this book, it was, to be honest, it was more to make fun of people who were into this stuff and be like, you are the weird ones, and this is my book of me on a pedestal saying you'll never be as Korean as me, but interestingly, in this journey, they always say you will find BTS when you need them the most. And that was like a time as I was exploring this and all my friends were into them and I was not getting it. I suddenly was like, oh, I get this. And they were feeding my soul in a time that I needed that. And that was also a time where I just was becoming more curious about, I started to live with my mother and I had to practice my speaking Korean. And there were just a lot of things that were now really challenging how I looked at my own Koreanness. So in the start of the book, it was much more kind of like this bitter journey. And it really became this like celebration of, wow, like Korea has like this cultural phenomenon has moved past this small little island country into the world and people are getting it. It's like impacting them and it's impacting me too at the same time. So this is like a celebration of that. And I love that for all of us. So it's just kind of funny how like, I'm not like a kind of soft, warm and fuzzy person, but like it just kind of so fitting that this journey of this book actually matched my own kind of identity journey. And now I'm like unstoppable. When I'm into something, I get really obsessive. So like I'm unstoppable when it comes to like K-dramas and K-pop now. And I apologize, but that's me. Yeah. So that's what's happened.
Oh my God, you are the funnest fangirl. Yeah.
Embarrassing, I know.
No, that was a great answer. So I want to know, what is your favorite scene in the book?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ridiculous scenes. Like I just look at things in a very ridiculous way. I like to, in my head, make fun of things that are, I don't know, I just find funny. So there's a scene with a farmer tan that I think is hysterical.
Oh my God.
There's a really sweet scene. There's a couple scenes I really like when they visit Legoland. One when he accidentally touches her boob, and they're on a ride. Okay, And also I just think the funniest scene. I don't actually believe in spoilers and kind of contemporary. You all know they're going to get together at the end. So there's just a funny scene when like any scene when the mothers get involved. I'm kind of like really into it because I love to play up that caricature of the Korean mama. So.
Can you talk a little bit about the moms and their friendship?
Yeah, so these moms were best friends when they were younger, and they were pregnant at the same time and had their kids at the same time. They had always wanted these kids to be together, but they pretended like they had nothing to do with it. And then kind of at the end, you see all along, they were like, yeah, we knew this was going to happen. So
I want to know when you had this spark of an idea and how much it looks like the final book.
So I tend to, and like I said, I can say like what I tend to do, but I literally haven't written that many books. But every book I've written so far, that first chapter has remained the same from first draft. So I always write the first chapter. That first scene is the first scene I think of for a book before I even know what the plot is or what the characters are. This first scene here in this book, she's with her boyfriend and he's throwing up Bud Light into a toilet. And it was like literally the first scene I ever thought about. So I would say that first chapter is almost exactly the same. And then for the most part, I think we went through some journeys of what was the message we wanted to tell. And like I said, I was going through my own personal journey. So I think it's more of a softer book than it was when it started, and much more focused on their relationship. So but I wouldn't say it changed a whole bunch.
So we want to make sure we have plenty of time for your guys' questions, but I do want you to talk a little bit about what's next.
Okay. My publisher and my editor here. I don't think I'm allowed to say much, but I'm working on a book 2. It is not a companion novel, but it could be. It's about 2 Korean kids. I think we'll tell more soon. I battled this book because, like I said, I had this first chapter written probably a year ago, maybe more, actually, maybe even before I wrote this book. And then to figure out where it was going to go was hard. So I've been battling this book. Also, crazy imposter syndrome. Like, I can't write another book. This first book was a fluke. And so it has been a journey. My editor, the first line of her email, thankfully, though, was like, no, this is not as bad as you said it was. Don't worry. So I think we're going to be in a good place. I actually have grown to really love these 2 characters as well. I cannot wait for you to meet them. But just a little bit of a spoiler, it is based on a case of mistaken identity of 2 Korean kids who share the same Korean name. So
it's such a cute premise.
So this book is childhood friends to enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers. It's like, I want every book to be like that. What is your catnip for tropes?
Definitely childhood friends to lovers. Like, honestly, it's, for me, I would write that all the time because I love the concept of I've always had the one, and I know like in real life, we, try not to fall for that, but I really love that, like, we were always meant to be. And I love the childhood friends because we've got like all of this built-in history, and it's just fun. Like, I look across the room and he's looking back at me because we both, like a wink and a nod, knew that we used to laugh at this, like I just love those inside jokes. So that always feels special to me. This is why I always struggle with love triangles, like true love triangles. Number one, I mean, Adeline and I were talking about this once, Adeline, Grace, and I, because we don't love triangles because we always pick the wrong guy. Like, I'm always picking, like, I was team Gail, I was team Jacob, like I'm always picking the wrong guy. And I get pissed off. Like, this book is trash. Like, yeah,
childhood friends. But.
I know. So what I don't do, I know. It's like, why I don't love like the love triangle is because she is struggling to make a decision, and I just like to know that they always knew. It was him or her all along. So.
Okay, audience.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have questions?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
So it's actually funny. Some of my friends who have read Dragged, my first manuscript that I hope one day will find life, also has a little brother character, and he's a lot of fun too. And it's funny because I always say I never read middle grade. These kids are both like in middle school, but they're always the most fun characters to write for me. So I will never write middle grade, but as I'm just saying, I do love those characters. So maybe when she grows up, she can like think back to that time. But yeah, I also have a special place in my heart, but I don't have any plans for that.
Please give a copy of
Aw, yay, it's a great book.
DJ.
Oh, novices. Okay, K-dramas for novices. So, look, I think the starting point, especially now in this day and age, is Crash Landing on You, because
all about it.
it is super romantic. It is over the top. There is like enemies to lovers, star-crossed lovers, found family, just one bed. Like it is. There's a lot, you know. Like there's a grumpy sunshine, a motorcycle accident, like. Oh yeah, a Pretty Woman moment when he changes into all these suits. I mean, it's like it's unbeatable, and I have found that it is the gateway for many people into K-drama. So if you haven't watched that, that is like number one, I think. If you like Soulmates, the other one I would recommend is True Beauty. It's a high school romance, super cute, love triangle. Even though. You know all along she's supposed to be with the guy she ends up with, Kristen Dwyer. She was the other guy, but yeah, so True Beauty would be my other recommendation.
Okay. Yeah, right here.
Ooh, okay. So first of all, if you do not know 17, I highly recommend you give them a chance. They are just sunshine and they're super fun and they're a great like partner to if you're a fan of BTS, because they're just like they're just a lighter, sillier version of what you get. My favorite 17 songs, the one song that I think of all the time for this book particularly is called Ready to Love. And it's about this person who says, hey, we're friends, but I'm ready now. I'm ready to take this further. So this is a super appropriate song. I also love this song called Crush, which you're my crush. I've got a crush on you. See, the lyrics are very deep. You're my crush. I got a crush on you. You know I can't rush. It's very deep. So that one. And lastly, you cannot be a 17 fan without liking Aju Nice, very nice, which if you know, you know. So.
Okay.
Easier? Oh, I pour over the beginning. Like all that first chapter, I'll probably work on for a long time. And the ending, I don't know if I would say it's easy to write. I'm like by that point, I've just given up. So I'm just like, whatever. We'll figure this out later. I don't actually find any part of the process easy, to be honest. I'm a struggling writer. That's my MO, but I love it. I love pain. I love torturing myself. It's so fun.
She just got a Caribbean heiress in Paris.
Yay! Oh my God, so good.
These
so
authors are all here tonight.
Yeah.
So be sure you
Love.
Okay, question. Yes.
Oh yeah. So this book deal was surprising. So I had just signed with my agent, my current agent, Taylor Haggerty at Root Literary, who I'm obsessed with. I'm literally obsessed with her. She's a great agent. And we went out on sub and it happened very quickly. Like I think I was on sub for a couple weeks and then got our first offer and went to auction, and Garrett came in with kind of like in all parts of the offer, like something I couldn't refuse. And I was just shocked that anyone would want this and would want to put it out there and try to help people to read it. So that was shocking. But this whole thing, it just blows my mind. So everything, but the fact that you guys are even sitting here blows my mind. I mean, in my head, I know that you're all here for all the other authors. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. my ego. I'm like, you will not fail, Susan Lee. Also, I quit my job for this. This is a real job. I always like go by like places that say help wanted. I'm like, gee, I like stop in this coffee shop and tell them I'm available. It's really actually my friends. I have friends who will call me, will FaceTime at 8 in the morning and talk about K-pop for an hour and then we'll write together. Or my friends will become successful and I'm like, you wish. And then I'll be like, I must follow in your footsteps. Like, I think, spite, petty. I'm like so petty. Yeah, ego, spite, petty, but also just a really great community. But I'm not kidding. Like some of them really challenge me to be better because they're so good. So I want to be worthy of being their friend too. Yeah. Yes. I had no idea what I was doing. So, there are a lot of writers who are great at talking about craft, and I'm just like, don't know what that means. I remember my friend Jessica Kim used to say, "Oh, but the B plot." I'm like, "What's the B plot? What's the A plot? How many plots do I need? What letter does this go to?" What's happening? I don't know. So, Kristen Ashling, the one who got me into reading romance. I saw her on a panel, and she is a very prolific author, and she, I think she's a great storyteller. I don't know that, I don't think she'd mind me saying, I don't know that she's like perfect at craft, but what she said is when she writes a book, she sees a movie playing out in her head, and that's kind of how I write too. It's like, sometimes I just watch it happen and I'm just writing that down. And there are times where I'm like, this is so freaking ridiculous. It's so over the top, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So I have craft books. They're a little dusty at the top. I'm sitting on somewhere in the back of all my bookshelves. I only use one craft book at all, and that's Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. That's the only one I use. It just helps me stay on a romance track. But other than that, I really just wing it, and I'm very lucky to have good people like a great editor and great friends who are writers who help me along the way.
Yes, we read it every year.
So I very early cast visually who would play these characters, but I don't think they're the right people for the characters themselves. But visually, as I mentioned, Mingyu of 17. Mingyu for me is because Jacob is discovered in a I think a department store in Korea, and it just had to be someone cute enough that it's like, yeah, I can't walk past you. I have to like talk to you. And then the girl is her name is Hyeri. She's an actress. She was in the K-drama Reply 1988. She's just goofy and funny, and she's got this big mouth when she laughs, and she's just unapologetic about that. And I loved that spirit. So visually, she just fit Hannah for me. But I don't really have like, the weird thing about this is like I watch a lot of K-dramas, and this book is clearly like Korean American. I could never cast anyone because all of them speak Korean. Like there are not a lot of Korean American actors out there right now that that's why like the same two people get every role, And so, but I think visually that's who I'd cast, and hopefully they would be good enough actors to pull it off, I guess. And the red, she's been holding it. Do you have another one?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't, this book helped me to work a lot of that out. I didn't realize I had it was probably obvious to everyone else. I just didn't realize I had so much bitterness. I was like, I'm so bitter. What's wrong with me? Yes, this book really helped me work. I think probably I would have just jumped from being bitter to being a fan and never trying to understand what got me there. And I think this is also why the things that I do love, like in Korean culture now, I feel very deeply. Like I just went back to Korea for the first time in like 20 years last year. And like everything, like from a cup of coffee to a taxi ride, like was life-changing for me. Like I just felt like I was constantly learning lessons, and that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't asking myself questions while writing this book.
Okay, that was a arc
SEOULMATES, and also a gift card to Kdramas, which is a women of color owned sustainable company that supports a female forward supply chain, fair trade, organic harvesting.
Awesome. Anything else?
Yeah,
Okay,
two more.
Two more.
Okay. Right there.
Green and then the black.
I can't say like in the green because
Okay.
they're all in green.
Jacket and then like a kind of plaid next to Elise. Oh, hi. I do, but it's kind of a funny story. So, well, funny to me. Well, just give me a courtesy laugh if you don't mind. It's just because it's actually an inconsistency. So, in the book, she talks about her sister leaving, and she meets Nate, her like childhood nemesis, and he's like, "Let's go to the flower fields in Carlsbad." And why would anyone leave San Diego? But this happens at the end of summer, and the flower fields are in spring. So, I'm like, every time I read that, I'm like, "Oh, I was wrong." And nobody counted, and it like kills me every time. But that's why I kind of laugh at myself, like, oh wow. Okay, I'm also gonna. This is TMI. Well, actually, I'm gonna share something that I probably shouldn't, but this stays with amongst us friends. And hello, on camera. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna admit to this. I have never been to Legoland. Oh my God. You're from San Diego. This is a scam. But there's an entire scene. So the whole Legoland scene is based on Jessica Kim and her children's experience at Legoland, and YouTube and Google. So I describe rides. I describe what, and I'm just like, I don't know. I know those rides exist on Google. So, but I'm going to change that one day. I will go to Legoland one day.
All right, one more question, and then we have a quiz for you, and then we're going to do other stuff.
All right.
She won a bag of greens.
Yay! Oh, that's the best one so far.
Okay, in the blue.
Hi. I don't recommend ever spending money on stuff that you can get for free. So I recommend finding other writers to share your work with. I think I know a lot of great freelance editors. I'll do a call out for Oriane Desambre, who's here. She's wonderful. There are just a lot of great freelance editors for sure, and I think they can help you. I wouldn't ask them to help me get my book query ready. I would ask them to help me figure out how to tell the best story I want to tell. And that then, like, someone should not unlock the key for you to feel ready. I think you should just continue to build your confidence with maybe feedback from a freelance editor and get to the place where you unlock that key of I'm ready to go. Because you'll never know until you give yourself that grace to go for it, so but I think on the free side, if you have other writers, and I've met so many writers at these Mysterious Galaxy events, and we've like just talked about, how we want to get together. We still have never done that. But I never leave my house. So, but like getting feedback that way too is so wonderful and priceless, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, last thing. Okay, we have one last big giveaway, and I want to see if anybody was paying attention at the beginning. Does anyone remember the title of the book that Susan won the 2019 Golden Heart for? Yes. Okay. Someone else.
Right.
Yes.
Krista.
Yes. What's exciting about it?
Yay! Okay. This is a $100 gift card to Soko Glam.
Oh my God, Korean beauty, skincare.
A woman of color owned skincare company that focuses on curating the best Korean skincare and giving back to organizations making a meaningful impact in their
Yay!
All right, thank you, everybody. Those were great questions. And thank you.
Okay, so I have a few giveaways too. I'm gonna do this really fast so that we can hurry up and do signing. I have this cookie. I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, so get your signing numbers out because this is how we're gonna do the raffle. What was the top number? The large. 105. 105. Okay, from 1 to 105. Okay, here we go. This is a special edition signed version of Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Signed special edition. Okay, Brian Kennedy, pick a number between 1 and 105. 66. Come and get your gift. 66?
66.
Okay. Elise, 1 through 105, pick a number. 72. Yay! Okay, next. This is Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, signed by Stephanie Garber. Kristen Dwyer, 1 through 105. 17. 17. 7. Yes. Okay, this is the foreign version. Which country? UK? Germany version of Some Mistakes Were Made, the Germany cover by Kristen Dwyer. Caitlin, 1 through 105. 42. Okay, right over there. The black mask. Okay, this is one of my favorite books. It's called Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. It comes out in January of next year. This is an arc.
It is so good.
So good. I love Kate Claiborne with all my heart. She's one of my favorite authors. Sarah, Sue, give me a number 1 through 105. 104? Are you here? No, one more. Yay!
Oh my God, you're so
Oh, we're
good.
good. We're
So
still
good.
going. I've got a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do really fast. Okay.
Be sorry.
An arc of Take the Lead by Alexis Daria. Recover. Adeline, 1 through 105. 1. Yay!
Yay!
I am dying to read this book, On the Hustle by Adriana Herrera. Sasha, 1 through 105.
24.
24. Yes! UK cover of Belladonna by Adeline Grace Charles, 1 through 105. 79. Yeah! Okay. Ooh, this is a gift box with an Arc of the Christmas Clash by Suzanne Park. Final copy of Christmas Clash. I didn't mean to yell that so loud. Alexis, 1 through 105. 28. 29. 82. Oh, yes. Almost there. Oh, these are getting good. This is a notebook and a mug with soulmates on it.
Oh my God.
And we're Claire, my editor, 1 through 105. 94? 54. Yes! Okay, two more. Oh, yes. This is Kiss Me Catalina by Priscilla Olivares. When does this come out?
November 1st.
November 1st. It's an arc. And let's see, who am I looking at? Jessica, 1 through 105. What? 21. Yes! Very last one. This is one of my favorite authors. I'm obsessed with her. She's the only one who I would probably cry if I met her. This is the trilogy, or 3 books from Emily Henry. Book Lovers is signed by Emily Henry. And let's ask Grace. Can you give me a number for 1 through 105? Okay. Another number. 52. Yes, there we go. That's it. All right, we're good.
All right, before we start the signing, I have one online question.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Susan. What was the hardest scene to write in Soulmates?
Oh gosh. There's a scene when Hannah escapes. For those of you who really know San Diego, I feel like this is more of a younger, if you grew up in San Diego. There's a place in La Jolla called the Cliffs, but it also overlooks Black's Beach. There's the nude beach in San Diego, which a lot of saggy old men. Anyways, it's not sexy. Hannah goes there to kind of like, woe is me, and her mother shows up, and they have kind of a heart to heart about being left and the feeling of abandonment, that kind of stuff. That was very difficult for me, because my dad had just passed, and like I just don't do deep emotions for myself, so I'm very closed off. So that was hard, but it's also one of my favorite scenes in the books. So.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Thank you, in-person people and virtual people. I am sorry to have to cut the stream now, but we're going to go ahead and start the signing line. Thank you and so much, and hope to have you all at the next event.